Dave Rothenberg, ESPN New York at Rothenberg. ESPN joins us on the Adam Gold Show. How are you, sir? Happy series rematch from 2 years ago.
Well, happy series rematch from 2 years ago, and happy reminiscing of the New York sports era from 1994 as the Knicks and the Rangers both moved their way into round two of the postseason.
It also happened in 13.
Yes, it also happened in 13, but in 13, neither of them went to the finals, which hopefully both of them go to this season.
Oh, I'm rooting against you, at least in one way. Dave Rothenberg is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Also, I'm sure you guys are salivating over Knicks Pacers and hopefully TNT giving everybody Reggie Miller on the series so he and Spike Lee can make eyes at one another during that series. Give me your read, your thumbnail of what the keys are for Carolina v. New York part 3, although I'm not sure we count bubble hockey. It's almost a different era at this point. Let's just call it part 2.
Well, I'll tell you, this is, as a Rangers fan, not only do I cover them and discuss them, I'm a passionate fan of the Rangers. This is going to be a tough series, I think, for both teams. I think, this to me feels like a conference finals. This doesn't feel like a second-round matchup, but the NHL is set up the way it's set up, so this is where we are in round 2.
Right.
I would say key for the Canes, and I know that you guys are a savvy hockey community down there, but key for the Canes, you don't want to mess with the Rangers' power play. The Rangers' power play is absolutely elite, and Washington found out the hard way. It's been great all year. I think you have to stay out of the penalty box. I don't think you can, take stupid penalties, and I guess that's like the theme of any postseason series, right? Whatever, you can't take stupid penalties, but in this case, you really can't. The Rangers' power play is elite, and the Rangers actually are excellent shorthanded as well. I would think if Carolina can find a way to neutralize, you get to the end of the series, Carolina, they were fine. They stood their own, right? They were fine as far as the shorthand and the power play is concerned. I think that'll be a huge, huge win. I know you like your goaltender, and I think your goaltender is good. I don't think he's the same class as what the Rangers have. So that's another thing. If you get to the end of the series and say, yeah, you know what, Anderson and Shesterkin, it was close. I think it's a huge win for Carolina. Those off the bat are two huge things. I mean, listen, the Rangers are not a great 5-on-5 team. Mm-hmm. It's weird to think that the team that won the President's Trophy isn't that elite when you look at even strength hockey. But the facts are the facts, and they just, during the regular season, all year, 82 games, they were not.
Yeah.
That's another thing to really look at. You can't, if you Carolina can't make mistakes with stupid penalties. You have to have your goaltender, I think, be close to what the Rangers netminder is, and 5-on-5. If you're Carolina, you really have to win that battle.
I mean, Dave Rothenberg from ESPN in New York. ESPN New York is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I mean, you're aware of the stats. Carolina's power play was actually better than the Rangers this year in the season series, which I'm not sure matters because it was only 3 games. And Kane's power play was also better than the Rangers in that series. You don't think the Rangers are also concerned about that?
I think they may be. I think that's something. I think Carolina's probably a better 5-on-5 team.
They are.
I don't. I think it's too small of a window. 3 games, I don't think is necessarily a.
I don't put a ton of stock in the regular season series. I mean, Rangers won 2 of the 3 games.
Which I don't put any stock in. Right. Those 3 games, great. Listen, I think both teams are excellent. I think these are 2. If you have to rank the 8 teams that will be remaining at the end, you could say this is 1 and 2. You could, right? I mean, you could say this is 2 and 3. This is a great series. I had zero concern. I don't know that I've ever sat and watched a postseason series when the Rangers are in it, and had less concern than I did against Washington.
Oh my gosh, I agree.
Washington is I sat there game 1. It's all right, it's game 1. You're feeling out the first round of a boxing match. They get to game 3. It's all right. Washington can't beat the Rangers. And I'll be honest with you, I am genuinely scared, nervous, concerned, whatever you want to say about Carolina. I mean, I think you could make the argument. I think betting wise, I don't even know that this is true, but I think it is. Carolina's the favorite to win the Cup.
They are.
This is a terrific, well-coached, huge home ice advantage hockey team. So yes, I'm not discounting. I just don't look at like 3 games and worry about that. I think overall, I think the Rangers are built on the power play.
100%, 100% agree. I of all the things I look at, the last thing I look at is what happened during the season series. Right? Again, Rangers won twice. Rangers scored 4 goals in the 3 games, and I don't think it just doesn't matter. Carolina scored 6 in 1 game in Madison Square Garden. Again, doesn't matter. Goaltending, I agree with the read. I don't think Freddie Anderson is necessarily as good overall as Igor Shesterkin, but I think if he plays reasonably close and the power play situations are about the same, I do give Carolina an edge. Here's what's interesting to me, and I mean, you alluded to it, is that, yes, the Hurricanes are the betting favorite, even though the Rangers have home ice advantage, and I'm stunned that they're the favorite in Game 1.
Yeah, I hadn't even looked at the numbers, to be honest with you, as far as just the one game is concerned. Do we, by the way, we still don't know when this series is starting, do we?
Sunday. It's going to start Sunday. We just don't know the time. No.
Right, yeah.
Because we're waiting on what happens with the Western Conference tonight.
And I can't imagine they're going to put that game in an early window. My guess is that's going to be a Sunday, like at 3 or 7. That's what I would guess. That's what I would guess. But I'm surprised as well. Rangers are good at home.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing that I don't understand. Well, I guess it's Vegas saying we have that much ultimate respect for Carolina.
The 5-on-5 numbers is what has skewed that.
I guess, but I mean, the Rangers were great at home. The Rangers had the most wins in all of hockey. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, and I don't think it matters. The Rangers won 2 out of 3 against Carolina in the regular season, and yet Carolina is still favored in Game 1. Uh-huh. I find that to be interesting, but I guess they're saying, and I would have to think that public money, more money, if you went down the middle, would probably go on the Rangers just because they are the Rangers. Which
exactly.
That Vegas is looking at things and saying, no. Carolina's a better hockey team. I don't know that I agree with that, but I don't know that I disagree with that either. The Carolina is and I thought the move for Gensel, I mean, I think that is an excellent, well-coached, very, very good hockey team.
All right, I want to ask you a couple of questions about personnel. First of all, is Philip Hedl going to be available for the Rangers in this series? Because I go back a couple of years, and I thought, kind of on the low, I thought he was maybe not New York's best player, but I think the guy who might have tipped the series.
So he's excellent. He's been out almost the majority of the season with, we assume a concussion.
Right.
They don't tell you in hockey, which is so bizarre, but we've assumed it's a concussion. Tried to come back months ago and said, no, it didn't go well. They're shutting him down for the season. And then a couple of weeks ago, it's like Phil Hedl, full practices. He's, with the Rangers, like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it was huge, like New York fans, like, wait, what exactly happened? So here's a guess, because nobody knows. They're very tight-lipped about it. You don't have any idea. He will. I imagine. I can't think you play 4 games, win them all, and you adjust your lineup going into a series. So
right.
I don't think at the start of the series that Hedl's going to be available. And then you make adjustments on the fly. I would guess that by the end he may be, but honestly, I'd be lying to you. I don't know. I don't think anybody outside of maybe Peter Laviolette and maybe a player to have any. Maybe Hedl knows. Maybe he doesn't even know what's going to be the case. But he is going through full practices, which leads you to believe he may be available. But we don't really know that he's going to be available. Dave
Rothenberg from ESPN New York is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I've got questions about 2 more players. The first is Vincent Trocheck, who we saw here for 3+ seasons. Loved him, didn't work out financially. Rangers gave him a great deal. Wonderful player, has had a great year playing with Artemi Panarin. What has he been like? You're a huge Ranger fan. What has your view been of Vinny Trocheck now in year 2?
He's sensational. I remember, because and you're a big hockey fan, I know, but like when it's your team, you pay more attention, right? So I knew who Vinny Trocheck was. I knew he was a good player, but I didn't know, to the level of what he was. And I remember texting buddies down in Carolina when the Rangers signed him, saying, give me the intel on him. What is he? Great. So, I spread the word up in New York. You guys are going to love him. Great. Right. Well, I think we overpaid. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. He does everything.
Yeah.
You name it, he does it. in game 44 of the regular season, he dives to block shots. He gets behind the boards. He does the dirty work. That's in regular season games.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the bigger game, the more magnitude of the game, he's phenomenal. He's great on the power play. He's great shorthanded. He's a great face-off guy.
Yep.
He's great in front of the net. You're not going to intimidate him. He loves physical play. He's a wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the most complete players from soup to nuts in all of hockey, I think Vincent Trocheck is one of those guys. He's at that level. He is a great. He's not, like the Austin Matthews. He's not going to score 70 goals. He's not jumping off the page great. You win Stanley Cups with guys like Vincent Trocheck. He's a great player.
No question about it. He is a pest. You didn't text me about it, though. But that's fine, Dave Rothenberg. I appreciate that. Matt Rempe. What is Matt Rempe?
He's a nudge. He's a
nudge. Wait a second. My grandmother used that word all the time.
That's what he is. Maybe your grandma and I have a lot in common.
I know what it is.
Yeah, no, I know you know what it is. He's an annoyance. He's a pest. He's Sean Avery. He's one of those guys where it's just like, oh God, we got to go up against this guy. The only difference is he's 6'8".
Yeah.
He's enormous. The thing is, he actually has some skill as a hockey player, but started out because he's so big and like the powers that be that like to fight and are able to fight would test him. And, you want to dance? Let's dance. So he got into a lot of scraps and he held his own. He had a couple fights. Matt Martin, I think he won a couple fights where it's like, ooh, he wasn't great in that. But he would take stupid penalties. And it cost the Rangers, regular season again, didn't cost them huge, but it's like, all right, you're winning a game by a goal. A guy just took a 5-minute major. You're tied with 10 minutes to go. A guy just took a stupid, minor. And I think that Laviolette got in his ear and said, enough. Like, you can play hockey. And, in fact, the 3 stars in the Rangers' first game against Washington in the first series, like VC and Goodrow and Rempe, actually, as a fourth line, are pretty formidable. So he's an annoyance. He's a pest. He's, like I said, he's a nudge. You're not gonna out tough him. He's 6'8". He's a huge physical tough guy. He actually has some skill, and I think he's one of those guys that when you look at because you're Carolina, you guys, right? That's who you are.
Right.
We're the Rangers. By the end of the series, you're like, oh my God, I hate Matt Rempe. Like, I can't stand that guy. He's an annoyance. Now, if he takes stupid penalties, he's going to be a real problem and probably won't last long for the Rangers. And if he doesn't, then he'll probably be a big plus for the Rangers and someone that the Carolina Hurricanes fans look at and say, I can't stand that guy.
If he was a good player, why doesn't he play more?
He's not great. I mean, he's a fourth liner. He's
right,
fine.
But I mean, Carolina's got fourth liners that play 10 minutes. Rempe plays like 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's fine. He's good. He can do some things like there are enforcers and tough guys in the league that's their sole purpose, right? He's not that guy. Like, he can play. He can forecheck. He is big. He is physical.
Definitely big.
He can get into the front, right? Like, he does have some skill, but he's not going to get more than 6-7 minutes a night. And yeah, I would think that's unlikely. So yeah, because the better players play way more than Matt Rempe. Way more.
You don't think he's a goon who has basically one purpose to intimidate and make people can think about him?
No, I think that's something that he is in his repertoire, certainly, but I actually think he's a more skilled player than solely a goon in this league.
Well, I think he would have played more against the Capitals if that was the case, because they were never going to lose that series. And he played, actually, in the game he was one of the 3 stars, 8:33, then 7:34, 5:16, and 5:39. I would have just thought that if he was a better player, he'd play more.
Yeah, but that's what you get if you look at all year long, the Rangers' fourth line. I mean, their better players play. I mean, their fourth line doesn't get a ton of time. I mean, you'll see Panarin. He's going to get double.
Oh, he's going to play forever. I know that.
Play, nonstop. Those are the guys that are going to get time. Yeah, I think it's.
We have different views of Matt Rempe, but I have that view of any. That doesn't make a difference, Ranger or not. I have that view of any player who I think is basically just there to intimidate, because that's what I think Rempe is.
Well, no, I agree that that's part of what he is, but there are guys that are just solely goons that have zero skill, and I wouldn't say that that's what his game is. I think he does have some skill, even though he is by principle goonish. Yeah.
Dave Rothenberg. Look, I think it's going to be a great series. How many games? I'm sure you're going to pick the Rangers, and that's fine because it's an absolute I mean, there's no reason to not pick the Rangers or the Hurricanes, but how many games do you think we're playing here?
Yeah, I would say the only stupid prediction if I said Rangers in 4, right? Or someone said,
yeah.
Hurricanes are going to win this in 4.
4 or 5 is a dumb prediction,
right,
regardless which way you go.
You're right. I'm going to pick the Rangers. I'm going to pick the Rangers because I love the Rangers. That's my team. I don't think there'd be anything stupid about going either team in 6 or 7. I'm going to take the Rangers in 7.
Yeah.
Listen, they've been the best team in hockey all season long, and I think that continues. Would I be all surprised if Carolina won? No, but my heart and my mind, by a little bit, heart a lot, mind a little bit, think that the Rangers will find a way, and I'll take the Rangers in 7.
Hurricanes in 3. It's my pick.
Yeah, right.
It's my official pick. Now I think we're a 7-game series. So,
so you think it's reverse of what we saw a couple of years back when the Rangers went to Carolina and won in Game 7? You think
turnabout is fair play. Turnabout is fair play.
Nothing would, and in the same vein, you would not be at all surprised if the Rangers won the series.
Absolutely
right?
not. Of course. I personally think and I've said this for a while. I actually think Florida is the best team, but
I don't think you're crazy with that at all.
Florida, Dallas, Colorado, Carolina, New York, the Stanley Cup champion is coming from that group of 5.
I could not agree with you more. And I have a healthy respect for Carolina. I'm a Rangers fan, and that's what I'm going to pick in this scenario.
I love it. Dave Rothenberg. I appreciate your time, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Enjoy the series, man.
You too. And enjoy Game 1 whenever it plays on Sunday, somewhere late afternoon, early evening.